me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta fill.
Okay, what is going on, everybody? And it is WrestleMania season again. So, today I'm going to be reviewing WWE WrestleMania 22. So, we go all the way back to April 2nd, 2006. And this show was held from the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois, or Rosemont, Illinois. You know, it's a suburb of Chicago. And the attendance for the show was about 17,000, which is, you know, pretty accurate, you know, for them doing an arena. Also, you know, this was the last time that this was one of the last times that WWE would do an arena for WrestleMania, because then moving forward they would do big stadiums, or, you know, football stadiums, because like 23 they were at Ford Field, and so on and so forth. So that was pretty cool. So this was like one of the last times, in which I thought that was pretty cool here. You know, you heard the crowd reactions really good here. And also the tagline for the show was big time. You know, they're going big time, you know, here in Chicago, Illinois. It's like they jam-packed, you know, the most rowdiest fans, you know, that are fans of wrestling. You know, and like all of them, you know, traveled all over the world to get to WrestleMania here, which I think was pretty cool. You know, internet was like really growing at this time, you know, starting to groundbreaking at this point. You know, so you had a lot of old heads come, you had a like new generation come. So it was very split down the middle here. It was a very interesting WrestleMania. Like, people remember this WrestleMania for, of course, the Edge and Mick Foley match, the hardcore match. People also remember it for the Shawn Michaels and Mr. McMahon, or Vince McMahon match. They also remember it for John Cena, him getting turned on here, or even Trish, you know, them turning on Trish or turning on Rey Mysterio. So yeah, this was definitely an interesting WrestleMania, to say the least. So let's quit wasting time and let's go ahead and get started with this review. So the show kicks off with the WWE World Tag Team titles on the line. We got Big Show and Kane defending the titles against Carlito and Chris Masters. Yeah, this match, I mean, it's a good thing they got one of the weakest matches out of the way at first. Like, I don't mind them starting off this show this way. But nobody cared that these titles were on the line. Like, nobody cared about Carlito or Chris Masters. Like, I believe it was around this time where Shawn Michaels and like Ric Flair, they buried Carlito. I think there was this one promo where Shawn Michaels, like, he was cutting a promo on Carlito, and he said that, you know, people be talking about my matches 10 years ago, but they're not talking about your current matches, which basically saying he sucks. And there was one point where Ric Flair was just burying him, so I mean, nobody cared about Carlito. And people were starting to turn on Big Show a little bit. They didn't care what he was doing. Kane got a nice reaction, but yeah, this match was this here. Is basically a glorified squash match, nothing crazy. Kane and Big Show won. They retained their titles. So yeah, we'll move on to the next match. It was fairly quick match. So the next match we have is the Money in the Bank ladder match. So the competitors we had in this match were Bobby Lashley, Finlay, Matt Hardy, Ric Flair, Shelton Benjamin, and Rob Van Dam, RVD. Yeah, this was quite a cast of characters in this match. Like, you had your powerhouses like Bobby Lashley. You had your people who can high fly like Rob Van Dam and Shelton Benjamin. Of course, and then you had your old heads in here like Matt Hardy, Ric Flair, and Finlay. So you had quite a mixed bag of characters here. I wouldn't say this is the best Money in the Bank match that's happened at WrestleMania. Like, there's been, like, even in 23, they had a better ladder match and like better all around superstars in the match. But yeah, this match here was very interesting. I gotta say that suplex that Ric Flair took off the top of the ladder was crazy. You know, being at his age that he's at, I would not have took that spot. And there was one point where Ric Flair had to get taken out of the match because, you know, he had an injury. Yeah, so that was a pretty nasty spot. Bobby Lashley, he kind of didn't fit well in this match. Like, he was kind of afraid to climb the ladder. You know, he's afraid of heights, as commentary was saying. Shelton Benjamin, he was definitely an MVP in this match. He did a nice tope to the outside of the ring off a ladder. I thought that was pretty cool. Rob Van Dam would end up winning, which I think that was really cool to see him win. And then, of course, go on to challenge John Cena at One Night Stand, which you think John Cena got a lot of hate here? No. You guys haven't seen the hate that he got at One Night Stand. Like, if you haven't seen ECW One Night Stand 2006, go check it out after you watch my video. But yeah, Rob Van Dam won, which I think was really cool. So yeah, we move on to the next match, which we had was the United States Championship match. JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, was defending the title. No, actually, he wasn't defending the title. Sorry, he was going up against Chris Benoit, which he was defending the title. So it was around this point, you know, Eddie Guerrero, you know, he just recently passed away, you know, like 5 months ago. So John Bradshaw Layfield, you know, he was basically saying that, you know, Eddie's not up, and you know, he was basically mocking Eddie Guerrero, you know, saying that he's down in hell, you know, basically trying to get some cheap heat on him, you know. You know, it's the wrestling business. That's what people did. So Chris Benoit, you know, he didn't really like that, and especially in this match, you know, JBL was doing a lot of taunting, you know, he was trying to do the Three Amigos, but Chris Benoit ended up actually countering that and doing his own suplexes, which I thought was cool. Yeah, the match wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. Definitely a WrestleMania worthy match. The ending came when Chris Benoit, he had it in the crossface, but JBL rolled through and then he like grabbed the rope and got the 1, 2, 3, and your new United States champion was JBL. And also, you know, the previous year, you know, these guys were champions and stuff, and now they're in the mid card scene, which is kind of sad to say. But JBL, he wasn't looking that good. He didn't look that good at all. Like, he was kind of like out of shape. But I mean, the match was okay. It wasn't a bad match. It's a worthy match of checking out. All right, and then the next match we had was a hardcore match. Edge, with Lita in the corner going up against Mick Foley. Yeah, I gotta say, Edge, you know, he really started off the year strong, you know, being the first ever person to cash in the Money in the Bank, you know, at New Year's Revolution after John Cena went through that grueling Elimination Chamber match. You know, this is why Edge became the ultimate opportunist. And I believe he was saying on an interview, saying how it should have been Edge and Cena at Mania in the main event. Like, he deserved that main event spot, which I believe he did. He did deserve that main event spot after this match he put on here. Like, he made Mick Foley have a great match here. Yeah. Like, this is arguably the best match on this show. Like, I wouldn't argue with you saying this is the best match. Yeah, but Mick Foley, you know, there's some notable spots in the match. When Mick Foley had barbed wire under the flannel. Like, so when Edge was going for a spear, he hit the spear, but like his arm like instantly bleeding, which it was weird. But that's because Mick Foley had on barbed wire underneath his flannel. So that was pretty cool. You even had a pretty cool thumbtack spot. Edge went through that, you know. They kind of overplayed the thumbtack spot during this time. A lot of unprotected shots to the head, which is very cringy. Is very cringe. You know, you just had the Guerrero pass away, you know, not, you know, like 5 months ago. So, you know, these unprotected chair shots are pretty cringe. Of course, you know, you had the infamous flaming table spot where Edge did the spear through the ropes. And good thing they did that spot correctly. Like, good thing nobody got seriously injured after that. And I think even Mick Foley went on to say that that's not even one of his craziest spots he's done. Maybe it's because like the adrenaline was going so high, but to go through all that fire, like no. Oh yeah, he could have had serious burns. Like I mean, some of his jacket or flannel was burned a little bit. But yeah, Edge ended up winning the match. Pretty hardcore match. Not bad at all. Fun. Like I said, I think this is probably the best match of the night. I'm gonna be with the majority saying this is the best match of the night here. So yeah, we move on to the next match. Oh boy. We had the intergender match. I forgot this was an intergender match. So we had the Boogeyman going up against Booker T and Queen Sharmell. Yeah, the Boogeyman character, he's more for like the kids and more for like the casual fans, more. It's just a weird wonky gimmick. Like if a wrestling fan came up and saw you watching this, like, why are you watching this? Like they would question you, why are you watching this stuff? Like eating live worms, and it was just a terrible gimmick. Queen Sharmell, she was so scared during this whole match, she didn't want to get involved. Booker T, he was scared too. This was a glorified squash match. The Boogeyman won. I did not care about this match at all. I wish they would have did something better with Booker T here. I mean, they were kind of giving him a push a little bit. He came off that best of 7 series with Benoit, which was good. And after he got that whole King Booker gimmick, which I actually was a fan of that a little bit. Some people like to shit all over his King Booker gimmick, but I thought it was cool. But right here, this was terrible. Like, what was WWE thinking here? And then like Boogeyman like kissed Queen Sharmell with like worms in his mouth. Like it was just nasty. I was not a fan of this at all. This makes me nauseating talking about this match. But yeah, we'll move on to the next match. So we had the WWE Women's title on the line. We had Mickie James going up against the champion Trish Stratus. Yeah, so this whole storyline here, Mickie James, she's kind of being like this weird stalker type of gimmick, which I'm not a fan of that whole gimmick there. But yeah, that's what she was doing. Kind of being like a bisexual type of gimmick. And then Trish Stratus, I think the reason why people turned on Trish Stratus is because she had that whole John Cena effect about her. Like she's beaten so many people. She's been champion so long. Like people were just kind of getting tired of Trish. And also, guys couldn't be with her. That's why she was a good looking woman. So like, hey, we're gonna turn on Trish Stratus here because we can't get her. I think that's another reason why. But yeah, this was definitely a interesting match here. You had the craziness of Mickie James here, he even had her at one point, like, let me use my words carefully. Like, you guys probably know the words I'm thinking of, like, that she was, like, grabbed onto Trish Stratus's, private parts, but you know the words I'm thinking of. There's 2 words that come to mind, but yeah, it was just weird. Mickie James even did like a weird laugh at one point. Like it was just, it was a cool match. Mickie James ended up winning. She ended up winning the match. I believe it was by a kick to the head or doing like a chick kick or something. But yeah, Mickie James won. People really got behind Mickie James here. Like I said, because I don't know, they were just turning on Trish here. I guess it was cool to cheer the heels on. But yeah, we'll move on to the next match, which we had was the casket match. The Undertaker versus Mark Henry. So leading up to this WrestleMania, Mark Henry, he took out Batista. He interrupted the match between Undertaker and, was it Kurt Angle? Yeah, Kurt Angle for the title. And then ended up splashing Undertaker through the announce table, and that's how they basically set up this match. Kind of lazy booking here. One of Undertaker's weaker opponents, in my opinion. And that's no disrespect to Mark Henry, but this wasn't even prime Mark Henry right here. Yeah, I'd rather seen something Undertaker face someone else like a Booker T or like a Kurt Angle here. or a Benoit or somebody. I don't know. Somebody I'd rather had Undertaker face somebody else. But yeah, this was basically Undertaker. Pretty quick work of him. Pretty quick work here. Surprisingly, there was no interference, which in a casket match here, that was nice. Undertaker did that nice dive that he usually does. He did that over the casket. That was pretty cool. It's basically, this match was short, sweet, and to the point. No, nothing crazy. Undertaker won. His undefeated streak continues, 14-0 at WrestleMania now. So, yeah, nothing crazy. I mean, there was a few points where Mark Henry had control, but they fought in the casket a little bit, but it was nothing crazy. Undertaker won. Next match. So the next match we had was a no holds barred match. Shane McMahon going up against Vince McMahon. So yeah, this was another interesting story here. So Vince McMahon, he was being a prick that he is, and then I believe, he asked Shawn Michaels, he goes like, "Why don't you bring out the pill popping, the arrogant Shawn Michaels?" And like basically Shawn Michaels, he was bringing out the God, being God, or like, the religious man in him, basically saying, "Why you acting like this, Vince?" So this whole storyline was definitely interesting. You had a kind of like a role reversal here. But yeah, and people say this is one of the best matches of the night for WrestleMania, but I don't know. I really don't know if this is the best match, because I don't really like Vince matches all that much. Shawn took a few bumps for Vince, but there really wasn't much bumps that he took. You had the Spirit Squad get involved in the match. That was pretty cool. They popped up Shawn Michaels and they threw him down. They got involved. You even had Shane get involved. He got handcuffed to the ring. That was cool. Even had Vince. He pulled down his pants and tried to do. I thought it was cool when they tried to do the whole where Shane tried to shove Vince. Where Shane tried to shove Michael's head up his butt. Or up his ass. But instead it was Shane who got his head shoved up. And then you had Vince doing his weird looking face, that weird grin he does. Stupid. I hated that. The ladder spot was cool. I thought that was a cool spot. With Vince on the table with his head inside a trash can, and then Michael's doing the DX crotch chop, and then the elbow drop off the ladder. That was an amazing spot in the match. That's what people remember a lot of in this match. Seeing how bloody Vince was, he got bloodied up pretty good. Vince took a lot of punishment here. And then the super kick, doing all that jazz. Shawn Michaels wins. Yeah, it was good selling from Vince McMahon. And then after the match, as Vince is getting wheeled off, he flips off Shawn Michaels. He flips off everybody else. So kind of doing like a Tupac type of thing right there. Yeah, and then he has Shawn Michaels kissing his wife afterwards, and it was cool. It was a cool little match. Nothing crazy. But I'm just not. Vince matches aren't my cup of tea. If they were your cup of tea, then, cool. But yeah, this was not my cup of tea here. Now we move on to the next match, which was the triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. We had Kurt Angle defending the title against the Royal Rumble winner of 2006, Rey Mysterio, and Randy Orton. So, Rey Mysterio, he won the 06 Rumble. He said he dedicated that win to Eddie Guerrero. That they were really great friends. Luchadors. They were doing some great stuff. So he dedicated that win to him. Randy Orton ended up winning the number one contenders match. Basically, he said to Rey Mysterio, He said, Eddie's not in heaven. He's down in hell. So, once again, they're getting some cheap heat. Randy Orton was getting some cheap heat on him. Ended up beating Rey Mysterio, but then ended up becoming a triple threat match. Which, people, I kind of see why I see why they turned on Rey Mysterio, which I don't know why they would though, but they were trolling him because, well, he's just basically using Eddie to get more popular. Using his death to get more popular, which sometimes that happens in entertainment. And that's what happened here. Rey Mysterio, he gets his big triumphant win at WrestleMania. He dedicates it to Eddie, and I feel like that's why people were turning on Rey, because he was just using Eddie's name. But yeah, this was definitely a fast-paced match. Kurt Angle hit nice suplexes, even running up to the top rope, doing nice suplexes up there. There was one point where Rey Mysterio kind of did a little botcha 619 on the ring post. They chanted "You fucked up" there. Randy Orton, he was doing nice stuff in the match. This was a pretty short, sweet match. It was nice. Good thing this wasn't like a 25, 30 minute triple threat match. Because, to be honest, there wasn't really any long matches on this WrestleMania. Now that I look at it, there wasn't really long 30-minute matches. I mean, the only match I was really long was the main event, which was 22 minutes. Yeah, but Rey Mysterio wins. He gets a nice moment here. Really easy match to sit through. It didn't feel like not a 9-minute match. It felt quicker than that, to be honest with you. But yeah, this is definitely a fun match. Rey Mysterio, he hits the 619. And then does the West Coast pop, but it kind of got turned into a Hurricane Rana in a way. But yeah, pins Orton 1, 2, 3. New world champion Rey Mysterio. Gets that little nice moment, his big WrestleMania moment. I don't know. I feel like they should have done maybe Angle and Undertaker at Mania. But then again, you had the Rumble winner. You had Rey Mysterio, so he needed to be involved in some way. So, this was kind of really one of the only ways they can do it. But yeah, I mean, this was cool. This is cool what they did here. Okay, next match we had was the Playboy pillow fight match against Tori Wilson and Candice Michelle. Yeah, basically, women these days, they were, most of these women were just eye candy. That's what Vince saw these women as. Yeah, this was pretty pointless match here. They even had a bed inside the ring. I mean, there wasn't anything too sexual in this match. Nothing too sexual crazy. I mean, both women got their nightgowns taken off. But other than that, it really wasn't crazy. Not Candice Michelle. Tori Wilson ended up getting the win. Yeah, I really wasn't a big fan of this. That. I mean, that's what Vince thought of women during this time. Just as eye candy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like looking at it, but no, it was not. It wasn't good. So yeah. And then now we move on to the main event, which it was for the WWE Championship. We had John Cena defending the title against the Game, Triple H. The entrances were cool by both guys. Triple H coming out as who was it? I can't even think of it. This. Oh man, he came. It was definitely an interesting look that Triple H came out in. Kind of like a warrior, something from a movie. And I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, his entrance was cool. I really enjoyed Cena's entrance. Him coming out, since they were in Chicago, coming out on it with the Tommy gun, and then being the gangsters, with Al Capone days. I thought that was pretty cool. You even had CM Punk on the side of the car. I thought that was pretty cool. They all came out with their guns. That was nice. So I definitely think Cena's entrance was better than Triple H's. But yeah, I gotta say this. There's been some times where Triple H matches at Mania kind of have been, where people kind of lose interest in the match. That's happened at WrestleMania 25. That happened at. There's other Manias that happened at. Mania 21 with Batista. But this match right here, like when you have Cena in the match, it's always going to be split 50-50. Half of them are going to be saying, "Let's go Cena. Cena sucks," and this is when they were kind of starting to do that more. But yeah, the old heads, just weren't really behind Cena. That they didn't like this new school that he was doing. They were saying he can't wrestle and like doing all that jazz. Which looking back and now, Cena, I give Cena a lot of respect. People weren't ready for this. People weren't ready for this new generation. We just lost Eddie. Kurt Angle wasn't happy in his position in WWE. So 2006 was a weird time for WWE, especially the end of 2006. But yeah, this match was fun. The crowd was like into this match the whole night here, the whole time. Triple H ends up tapping out to John Cena from the STFU. Now, when you have him tap out, that they're strapping a rocket to John Cena's back. And I think Cena even wrote in his book, he said, "Wow, beating Triple H, he was kind of like lost for words. He didn't know what to say. But beating Triple H is huge. Means that they have big potential for him." Which, during this time, people didn't really see Cena because, like, I don't know, he was just a punk kid, who did that hip hop music. He was part of the new school, who only had the 5 moves of doom. But yeah, Cena won here. Yep. And some people were happy, some people were mad. That's how Cena was. That's how John Cena was. But yeah, it's just a back and forth match. I'm happy they didn't do this rematch, one-on-one match at, the previous or like the following year WrestleMania. I'm happy they did it. Like they did it a few years ago at Night of Champions 2008, which made completely sense to do it there. And I believe that match was better, That match was even better than this one. But yeah, this is a back and forth match. I don't think Triple H even hit the pedigree in this match as well. So, that made a big difference here. But yeah, just a back and forth match. John Cena wins by STFU. And that's how WrestleMania 22 ended. So, yeah, overall, I thought WrestleMania 22, it was a good show. People say it's like top 5, which I wouldn't put it that high, but WrestleMania 22 was definitely a solid WrestleMania. It's been better than some WrestleManias previous. But yeah, WrestleMania 22 was fun. Fun show. If I had to pick a match, I don't know. I might have to say I really love the hardcore match or the triple threat for the world title. I don't know. Those are the 2 matches that really stand out to me quite a bit. I'm gonna say the hardcore match was my favorite match of the night. But yeah, you guys don't go down in the comments. Let me know what your favorite match is on this WrestleMania. And also, if this is your first time ever checking out my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Also turn on the notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video. Also, let me know what you guys want to see on my channel. Let me know what videos that you guys want to see down in the comments below. I'm on the road to 800 subscribers, so let's get me to 800. And I got some more WrestleMania retro reviews to do this upcoming week. I'm going to be reviewing WrestleMania 23. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out, and I will see you guys in my next video whenever that may be.